Okay. So hello again, everyone. Nice to have you today. And today I'm really super excited to have one of my mentors and advisors in open science, Godwyns. I'm so excited that you guys today have a chance to meet him and learn from him. And he will also be with us in level 3 of the training program. So I'll give you the mic, Godwyns, and you're free to jump in.
Everyone has joined today. Thanks for the invitation and good work for African Reproducibility Network that you're doing to improve capacity in Africa, which is also where I come from. I'm an African. I live in the UK, and my name is Godwyns Onwuchekwa. I'm the head of communities at eLife, which they publish. They're based in the UK, where I live. So today we'll be talking about Sciety, which is a platform for sharing and organizing preprints, reviews. Let me just start my screen, and can you confirm that you're seeing my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, great, thank you. So today we'll be talking about Sciety, the platform that we use to share and organize preprints. The title is Community Evaluation, because what happens in Sciety is a collective where everyone sort of crowdsourcing shares together what they are reading, how they see find the preprint, and their opinions and comments on them. So what I hope that at the end of this workshop, you'll be able to understand how to utilize preprints and the evaluations that associated with them, that you can gain more experience in the collective reviews that others provide on preprints, benefit from the additional resources that can help you to improve how you do open science. And of course, finally, that you can organize research and articles in a way that it is meaningful to you, but also that it benefits your peers who are using the same product.
Godwyns, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but some people saying that your voice is breaking up. So maybe if you close the video, maybe it would be better.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let me see. It's also because I speak very quietly most of the times. Can you hear me now?
It does break a bit, like from time to time.
Yeah, let me put the video off. Is it any better now?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I'll notify you if anything happens.
Okay.
Okay,
And
thank
I've
you.
lost the video anyway, but that's cool. So anyway, let me put my screen here then. Okay, so these are some of the things I hope that you'll be able to leave this training with today. And together you can benefit from how you do open science and enhance it to be better, just for you, not just for yourself, but contribute to the wider benefit that everyone in the community and the movement for open science are looking towards. So, talking of Sciety, the question is, what does community evaluation and organizing of preprints mean to you? And this is a genuine question. I want someone to speak up and tell me what they think and what they expect. Now, I cannot see if anyone is raising their hand because I cannot see the video. So feel free to speak up because I cannot see the video.
Yeah, so anyone who would like to answer, the question or suggest what the answer could be, then you could just unmute and speak.
No one?
We have Paul. Paul, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. To my own understanding, I believe community evaluation is the process of really reviewing or monitoring the progress or reviewing the preprint on the community platform, as the case may be, on Sciety, and organizing it could be as a result of the inputs or the comments or suggestions from community members on that platform. That's to my own understanding, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And Samira has tied evaluation by the scientific community of great importance to fill the gaps in research. Yes, both answers are accurate, exactly. By, crowdsourcing, collectively working together, we can fill gaps wherever there are some, but also it provides a valid and some value. Stem, my voice is still breaking. Is it still this term?
I like, for me, it's good. There's a bit of an echo, but
Okay.
it's not breaking. But I really don't know what the issue is.
Yeah, so Samira said the voice. Okay. If it just keep letting me know if it's not working well. I'm trying my best.
Yeah, they say that there's an echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Else. So as we were discussing, the benefit of community or collective evaluating research articles is that we can cover wherever there are gaps, but also enhance the nuance and understand a better, have a more diverse perspective on research articles. So organizing them, of course, is about finding a way to bring them, all of what we're doing together, in a way that is systematic and it can benefit others. Some of you will be reading, some will be evaluating, some will be commenting on research articles, and all of this all of this together gives a value to the work and helps the authors to be able to strengthen them. But also, those participating in it can benefit from having helped to build a better work. So that's how we got to Sciety. Sciety was founded, developed in 2020, because one of the aspects that is missing is the fact that all of these activities going on preprint, as most of the times hidden, and they happen in various places, and because of that, the community doesn't benefit, being that some of those contributions go unnoticed. They are in various places on the internet. Sometimes they are on a blog post, sometimes they are in a comment thread. Nobody is gathering them together. So you find that the help, the contribution, the value that they would have brought to this community is missing. Developing the platform Sciety is to see how we can aggregate all of this together in one place and help researchers benefit from the activities and the contributions that peers are making. So over the time since 2020, this is how Sciety has been growing. At this, when this data, the graph I was showing you was computed last year, we are seeing over 1,000 evaluations being added every month on Sciety, and as of now, that has grown. What this means is that there are activities that are happening on research outputs in various forms already, but developing this platform provided a central place to gather them together. Now, what I must also mention is that as of this moment, this is not the total of the activities happening on preprints. This is just the ones that has been gathered onto Sciety. Creating Sciety doesn't mean that we wanted to hoover up everything on the internet without credit or without acknowledging the owners. The approach is that we ensure that those who created those pieces of work are involved, and that they consent to them being on this platform. So that is why the number seems small to the number of activities that are happening. But the groups that has come onto Sciety, their evaluations and assessments are still part of these numbers. We are still working with many other groups to bring them on board, because we have to do that. We have to do that by consent, and so that the credits goes to the owners of the work, whether they be ordinary assessments or comments or highlighting and curating. Everyone who has their work on Sciety is aware of them and are part of making them happen. I must also say, before we go on, if you have a question, please feel free to, if you raise your virtual hand, I cannot see it because I don't see the video, but feel free to shout out or raise your hand and Lamis or Emmanuel could bring you on. So how did Sciety come to be? Sciety was developed by eLife, where I work. eLife itself is a journal that was established in 2012 by a group of funders, and our remit, our mission is to improve research culture in general, and in encourage real change in how research dissemination happens, and also how they are reviewed and communicated. Part of our missions is really on the journal to improve community engagement, which is where I work, and that is about research culture, ensuring that there is more diversity, that the voices of those who are involved in research are seen and looks like the world we live in. So come to 2023, eLife has developed a completely new model of publishing, which of course I'll not talk to you about it today, but the focus is on providing expert public review and having an assessment of preprint. So solely currently eLife mostly only accepts and produces preprint that has been peer reviewed. So it is this history, this journey that brought us to the point where we thought, we cannot do preprints alone. We need to encourage everyone who do preprint at whatever level to be seen and collectively make the movement to, get traction and continue to improve. So what is Sciety itself? It's a free platform. Anyone can use it. I will go into how you use it later, but anyone can use it. And it is developed to help academics to be able to discover the latest preprints and also find the expert evaluations that are part of them. And that is also the platform enables users to be able to curate those preprints that they find useful and highlight them. As I said earlier, Sciety aggregates all of these preprints from preprint servers. So Sciety is not a preprint server. The core product is that it aggregates comments and evaluations on preprints that are on preprint servers and bring them to one place. An example is I can write a review on a preprint and I put it on my website. You can write yours and put it on, let's say, Hypothesis or on bioarchive or on Africa Archive, wherever you want to put it. But on Sciety, it pulls these reviews and these comments together on that preprint and bring them to one place so that when you find that preprint, you can then see whether someone else has commented on them. So that is the aggregation part of it. And of course, the goal is to help researchers to save time in how they discover and decide which preprints they engage with. So on Sciety, as preprinting has become more and more commonplace, we see that there are various communities who are getting involved in reviewing preprints, in assessing them, evaluating them in so many different ways, and of course, in peer reviewing them. And these are some of the groups that are on Sciety out of the 26 that currently are there. So these are some of the groups that are part of Sciety. They range from full publishing journals right down to small, very small reviewing groups that are made up of researchers that come together to do that at their own free time. So having said that, this is an example of how reviews on preprint that are reviewed by more than one reviewing group can come together. So what you can see on the screen shows you that 3 reviewing groups, although one of them is an automation tool, Sciety, but eLife ourselves review preprints, and that review appears on Sciety, and so also is the other group on infectious diseases that also review preprints, and you get all of those peer reviews in one place. So more example of that, this is review commons and pre-review. I think I need to go back. And additional to that is that individuals too can have a comment or annotation on preprint. So Sciety also help you to see what other people who are just making a comment or maybe one aspect of the research article to see what others think, your peers in your network, what they think about that finding. So as a user, you can make a comment on that and use it to showcase that work if you find it useful, if you want to share with others, if you want others to know what you think, if you want to comment on it. This is what the platform provides for you. So you can share how you think a preprint is going and your interest in it, and you put it in a public place where everyone else can take part in that. It's another example of someone else saving their preprint. As you can see, you can see that this person also provides comments on it. It's quite a low effort. So as we talk about open science and collective evaluation, this contributes to it, as someone mentioned earlier, regarding closing gaps. So traditionally, you submit a manuscript to a journal. 3 or 4 reviewers go through it and they release it and mark it as good. It's published. In the open science movement, we are agitating for more than that. So with a preprint, if you submit your manuscript onto a preprint server, it gives other people access to have a look at it. With Sciety, it gives other people access to see what those other people who have seen it think about it. So in the long run, you could have more than 4, the traditional number of 3 or 4, you could have more than that number, giving you insights and perspectives. And as I mentioned earlier, with such level of diversity of opinions, you can reap more benefit from having shared your work as a preprint. And this is what happens here. So some of those will not be in-depth peer review. They will just simply be a comment. Someone catches something, someone thinks about something, someone shares more details on some work or some parts of that work. All of those gathered together. It also helps the authors to then see that these activities have gone on their work, including these simple annotations by individuals, right up to peer reviews by more established or bigger groups, or organized groups that are out there. All right, Paul Hassan, I will come to that. We'll get to, this is the preliminary introduction. We'll get to how you use Sciety in a few minutes. So these are some of the activities that go on Sciety and why Sciety is there. So that's my computer behaving. So how do you see the landscape? So this is a question to you. I'm sorry, it's been covered up by something else. But the question is, how do you see the landscape changing and reflecting the various contributions that individuals can make into open science through these activities? This is a real question. to everyone. I will type it into the chat in case. So I need some contribution. That is the question. As people who are taking part in some open science training under this product, what do you think so far about the landscape, the changing landscape of open science and peer review and all of that?
So again, I would like to say, like, there's no wrong answer. The idea is that we sort of gather our views and how we could move forward.
Yes, thank you, Lamis. There is no wrong answer. This is a discussion.
Yeah.
So is anyone raising their hand?
No, not really.
I wish
So
I could see. Go on.
I think I would like get the conversation running, but oh, okay, Samira has answered in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, there are answers in the chat coming.
Everyone is typing.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
Paul have raised his hand also.
Okay, Paul, go on, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I just want to say that with this new development of using Sciety and with whereby one could view the insights from other researchers or reviewers is going to make our work more holistic, unlike before when it is only the reviewers that would just review and that would be all. Now, for using Sciety and for making it open, you know that everybody will have input to what somebody might have done. And if those corrections or those input or suggestions could be amended or revised, it's going to make our work more holistic. That is to my own understanding, sir.
Thank you, Paul. In fact, the thing you mentioned there is critical, revision. It is very well known that through the reviews given by editorial communities who look at other people's preprints, many authors has gone back to review their work and be able to make it more strong before they submit it to a journal to review again and publish. So yeah, you're right there. That is one part of it. And when we get to it, we'll see about the revisions that happens. So Samira said, I think this is of great value for early career researchers. Yes, again, that is a key concept of the open science movement. As you all know, in the traditional system, you don't get a look in. In fact, even till now, many people are still trying to learn how reviews are done because peer reviews were secretive, confidential, if you use that word or formal word, that is a very secretive business. So early career researchers and mostly only those with connections will get into becoming editors or reviewers. So this system provides a space, a platform for early career researchers to see how others review work. And there are many other organizations now that are helping to train everyone reviewing work, like Pro Review, who might be partners as well. Musa, I think it is at early stage, right? A lot to be done. Musa, I would like to hear more of what you think about that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, can I speak?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I have got a lot of information about preprint and the process it has to go through. But when you
Sorry,
come to,
sorry to interrupt. Did you say you have a lot of information or you don't?
yeah, a lot of people, like if I talk about my workplace, I work at Godwyns University, and the attitude they have about preprint is still at infancy stage. Maybe we have to do a lot. And also the problem is the focus is the purpose of publication and conducting a research. The ultimate purpose is to contribute to the society at large, and also for they use it for promotion purpose and also for grant application. When where I'm working, usually the criteria to be considered is indexing, and the traditional journal are that which should come first. And so they are not optimistic about preprint, and unless we do maybe training like this one should be done at large scale. And also we have to consider policymakers like at in higher education and research centers. Otherwise, those who set the criteria for promotion and grant application, if they don't have idea about preprint and how it works, still they consider the traditional publication. That's what I'm saying. And thank you very much for giving me the chance.
Thanks, Mr. So you sort of hit on all the key valves there. So although that's not that is not the discussion I'm going to dwell on today about the purpose of preprints. I'm trying to keep to what this workshop is. I still touch on or answer some of the questions and issues you raised. Yes, preprinting is not very common in certain parts of the world, and as you quite rightly said, and that is because of the connotations that it needs to go through a journal and all of that. But there's a correction there in the sense that in most cases, as you would encounter in other trainings that will happen through this level, in most cases, you would also see that making your work, submitting it or posting it as a preprint doesn't stop you from submitting it to a journal to peer review. When you have your manuscript, in fact, as everything it changes and improves, talking about the landscape, majority of journals these days have started accepting preprint. It wasn't like that 3 years ago, 4, 5 years ago. In fact, 5 years ago and beyond, some journals will say if you have posted your work as a preprint, they will never accept it again. That is a different ball game now. So you can still many of the big and many of the large journals and the popular ones that now has a form and a way to accept work that has been pre-printed. In fact, some of them will go as far as saying we can post it as a preprint, and some of them now post the submissions they get as a preprint. So that should not stop you from considering posting your work as a preprint. The normal advice is to check that the journal you're considering accepts this. And I can bet you that in most cases, they will say yes. The only thing is that they might tell you which preprint server you have to put it on because that's the one they prefer. Or they can say to you, you have to only do it while you're submitting the work, or you submit it and we do it. But majority now accepts that. Now, the issue of promotion and tenure, that is beginning to change as well. Preprint is being accepted now as valid research output. I don't know how much you know about the announcement by the Bill and Melinda Gates this year, and many others. The US had the nursing memo that they released a few years ago in 2021. The UK government is doing a lot through the UKRI as well, and JISC. So there is a lot of changing things there, and I think this leads into the aspects of policymaker. But the point being that preprint does not stop you from submitting your work, and it doesn't stop you from being considered for promotion. The nuance in this aspect is that some universities are still not accepting preprints fully, but many of them, especially in Western world, has begun to accept preprint as a valid output for your research. So things are changing, and this is why I talked about I wanted us to discuss the landscape, the changes that are happening.
Thank you.
And Daniel says the work will become more visible than through a normal route. So this is the whole thing. Submit your work as a preprint. It gets to be more visible. You get more contribution and more feedback into it. In fact, I think I did say just before you spoke that if you have all of these activities going on your preprint, it can help you to make that work more stronger than it is and increases the potential that when you submit it, it will go straight to be accepted rather than being rejected. And also, it will limit the number of revisions you might have for the traditional journal. That aspect.
Godwyns, Thomas has also written a comment that you didn't go through.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm going one by one. I just jumped because Daniel answered a bit of that question too.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, and then Samira said allowing them to engage more. Yeah, Samira, I would want you to give me more about what you mean them to engage more. Samira, is Samira there? Okay, speak when you can. Thomas said, according to me, according to you, according to them, there is a great improvement in the West, but in the developing world, it is just starting possibly. Yes, that's true. But everything, as the old saying goes, a journey of 1,000 kilometers starts with a step. And what African Reproducibility Network is doing today, and many others across the continent of Africa and beyond in other developing, well, I don't know if that's the right word. Everywhere is developing continent. But what groups like set of like Aaron is doing is helping to ignite and start that and push it further, because the sharing of research work gets better and more improved the more open and transparent it is. So while it is not still catching up in those other places that are outside the Western Hemisphere, it is beginning to grow and take root. And the thing that will change it is people like you taking part in this training and then being able to translate some of what you learn and into practice. Now, it's not a demand that you have to do it straight away, but it's simply that by knowing, awareness is the beginning of knowledge. The more you know, the more and improved way you can do your practice. For most all of you that are here now, and I've explained how you can use your preprint at the same time submit in a journal. That's one step. You can now go back and have the boldness to talk to the journal you want to submit to, and then be able to post your work as a preprint. And that's the start of it. By the time you are doing it, other people are doing it. You are talking to your colleagues about it. That is how change happens. Change doesn't happen in one day, unless it's by by edict. But we are not in that state at this moment. So it's by learning and practicing that we get to make change happen. And some of you, I hope, will go forward to be those people in senior positions in years to come, and you become the policymakers because of what you learned now, what you know now at this stage of your career. You're able to then bring a different vision to those positions when you're there. So, Thomas, don't let that put you off. Go ahead and try what you're learning, and in every little way you can, step by step, drop by drop. So that is about the changing landscape. Although Samira didn't contribute, tell us more. The question was also how does individual contribution enhance the corporate science landscape? I think that's what I'm saying. The simple action of maybe taking part in open peer reviews, reviewing other people's preprint, posting your own work as a preprint, curating them and highlighting them on a platform like Sciety is the way you start getting those change to happen and contributing landscape being changed. So now we get to Sciety itself to have a little look around it. This is how it looks. If you are on a mobile phone, you will see to my right, I think. I don't know if it's your right. The small screen is. Lemis, can you tell me? Can you see my cursor moving around?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So that is the mobile interface, and this is the desktop interface. So on Sciety, you're able to search for preprints. And when you search for them, you can then see if they have any contributions on them already. On Sciety, we prefer to call them evaluations because we are trying to see a word that encompasses all the actions that go on research articles. As you know, from one end, people can say annotation, and to the other end, it becomes peer review. There's also post review. So these are some of the. Amira, did I miss any task? Because I have an unstable. Oh, yes, Amira, I was asking you to expand on what you said, allowing them to engage more. That was the only thing you missed. So this is what Sciety looks like. And when you want to search Sciety, you can search by. Okay, thank you, Samira. Yes. So the changing landscape of open science is, as Samira just said, that early career researchers taking part and contributing would improve the landscape, and that is true. We've covered that. So you can search on Sciety by using categories or keywords, using author names or DOI. This will bring back a week, will give you results based on your search. There are so many categories that are on Sciety. In there, you can also filter by articles that have evaluation on them, peer reviews or review or automation on them. So this is how it looks. And now, if you visit Sciety, and like I said, anyone can use it. You don't need to log in. If you visit and you don't log in, you can do your search. As I just said, you can look at other people's lists and annotations. You can also look at the groups, the evaluating groups and their evaluations. You don't need to log in to do that, but we'll get to how you do that in a bit. So we're going to do some little practical work now. If you are there, you can just open Sciety. Oh no, we haven't got, yeah. OpenSciety.org is on the screen. Thank you, Lemis. If you click on that, so if you have a mobile, you have to click on this, what we call sandwich thing at the top left corner if you're using a mobile phone. When you do that, it will drop down the menus and you'll see the sign up at the bottom. If you do that, I would like you to create a profile. It's very easy, just use an email to do that. I think I'm logged into Sciety. Is anyone having any success with that? Tell me when you do it, because I cannot see anyone. I cannot see any audience or anything. Hello?
Yeah, I think people should be trying to sign up.
Okay.
So we can give them like 5 minutes. I'm trying to do that as well.
All right.
I am
Yeah.
there already, sir.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm there
okay.
already. Yes, I'm there. I never knew that I've even signed up before.
Oh, there you are. So you just
I
preempted
just saw my username and everything just came out.
Wow.
you just preempted all my training. I'm gonna go home now. I'm done. um oh Jocelyn, you are very right. So Sciety is still developing it. I wouldn't want to use the word bias as you use. But you're right in your, the way you frame it and say it, because perspective matters. No, Society, as I said, is still very new in essence. It's being iterated and worked on. But yes, we started off in science because obviously, eLife is a science journal. So we started off in science, and like I said, we are working on it with consent from others. So we are approaching different preprint servers and getting them to connect to it. So ResearchGate is on it, although the categories are but mostly what do you call it, science or by category. We haven't added the other categories yet. If you search for an article that, for example, is on ResearchGate, it will show up on Sciety. But most of the evaluations currently are based on science. The users, not so much. So it's not a bias, it's just a step-by-step development process that we are taking to see that it meets the expectation and needs of the research community. So who else has been able to sign in or log in? So if you logged in, this is what you will see. Okay, so Amira has signed up. Who spoke earlier? Was it? I can't remember. Couldn't see the name.
It's Paul.
Paul. Okay, Samira
Yes,
and
sir.
Paul has
Yes,
logged
sir.
in. Is anyone else been able to do the same?
I've also signed in automatically. I didn't know who signed me in.
So if you have signed in, just type in a yes on the chat, and that would do.
Okay.
Since we cannot see faces.
Yeah, a lot of yeses. That's great. Modesta is still signing up.
Yeah, Musta Ali, what do you have it seems you signed in as well. I cannot see that image properly. Okay, you have signed in. Okay, you've signed up properly. That's fine. Aminu, you're stuck on step 2.
Me as well, to be honest.
Pardon?
I'm stuck in step 2 as
Yes.
well.
It's
Yeah.
not taking my, I put my full name, then I put the handle, it's not taking it.
You put what
Same to
in?
me, I'm still struggling
My
to
full
see
name.
number 2. Yeah. Seems my name
Then
is too long, maybe.
You said your name is too long.
Maybe because I'm struggling here.
No, so when you put your name, when you put your username, it will not register you if someone already has the same username.
Okay, let me try another alternative.
So normally you should just put your email address and then you put a password. Sorry, you should just put your email address, create a password. And then
I've
when
done
you
that. I've passed that step.
yeah, so when you get to that, if it doesn't accept the username, it's because someone has taken it. So change the username slightly.
That email is step 1, and I've passed that. It now took me to step 2.
Yeah.
Where I'm to put my full name and create a handle.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm stuck.
So put your full name, change the using the handle, sorry, the handle slightly.
If I may, like suggest because I was stuck in the same place. So what I did is I added the number to my username, but I don't know, it didn't work. It told me, oops, page not found. I thought that it solved it, but I really don't know what the issue is.
Is that Lamis speaking?
Yeah, I'm Lamis.
So it tells the page not, yeah, it'll be a network lapse for that one.
Oh yeah. When I added the number to the handle, it worked. So maybe you could try to do that.
Yeah. So as you can see on the screen, Mohammed's step is different. It's difficult. So everyone, please bear with us. It's good to carry everyone along at the same time. If you have already logged in, feel free to play with it. So what Lamis was saying, if you look here, oh sorry, you can see that my name has 26 at the end of it, and that was because I had one in the past called just Godwyns. So when I created a new one, I have to add a number to it. You can add, I could have also added as the first letter of my last name or initials or something, but I chose to add a number, and then it works. So I have Godwyns 26. Mohammed, which step is difficult? Okay. So I think we have, is there anyone else that is having difficulty? We can move forward. If you have logged in, you will see the username you selected up there. Make sure to remember the password you choose and save it somewhere, write it somewhere, however you save your password. Because if you can't remember it, then I mean, you can recover it using your email, but also write down which email you use if you have more than one email address, so that when you want to log in the future, it's not difficult. So this is what you see. If you were not logged in, you will see the difference is, we see that it says login there or sign up. So that should be difference. If you have not logged in, those are the things. And you have logged in now. The difference with logging in is we are going to see next. Come on. So when you're logged in, you see that the menus have changed as well. So I keep going back and forth. When you log in, you will now have my feed there and my list. And these are what makes a difference. But it is also where Sciety usefulness, becomes apparent to the user. So you will have to see this. If you were not logged in, I go back to the screens. All right. So if you were not logged in, you will see just groups list and newsletter. So those are the difference that because this my feed and my list are going to be useful for you, the essence of what we're doing today. Okay. So, okay. I think that's great. Okay. So, So if you have logged in, click on my feed now. Your feed will be very, in fact, will be empty. There won't be nothing much in it. And then what my feed does, it aggregates groups that you follow, activities from groups that you follow. It shows up on your list. Now, talking about the benefits of what we take away from here today, part of it is how you organize and how you contribute to the use of preprints, which is one part of the open science movement. So this aspect of functionality of Sciety gives you a space where if you know an editorial group that are reviewing preprints, writing reviews on preprints, if they are on Sciety yet, you can follow what they do, and by following them, which, can you confirm to me, are you seeing a page that says groups?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So these are the list of groups on Sciety. Currently, there are 26 of them. Again, to the question that someone asked earlier about science, they are mostly focused on science for now. Okay, Mohammed, well done. So where we are now is that if you click on groups, it will bring you to this page. Now, the first example I'll give you what group so far would be maybe on journal. I'm just selecting a group that I think I don't follow yet. Oh no, I haven't actually logged in. Okay, so this is, I've not logged in, but if you have not logged in, for example, you select a group. This one is called the on journal, and then you think I like what they do. You can click to follow them here. Samira, can you hear me? I'm missing the voice. What are we supposed to do here?
Hello, sir.
Hello?
You are audible enough. It could be the network, it could be the network or signal around them. You are audible enough, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me know. So at this step, we shall select the groups we are interested in.
Yeah, I'm showing that you can select a group because you're logged in. It will be, you can also see this follow button. If you're not logged in, you will see this follow button. But here you see there are 5 people following this group, right? Zoe is following them. I recognize that name, and I am also following. And that's my old one actually. So those are people following. So because Zoe is here, sorry Zoe to pick on you. I cannot say your last name. Ongre. I might be wrong. So because Zoe is following that group, when Zoe, you're logged in and you click on my feed, let me log in now. Oh, actually, let me show you something. If you're not logged in and you click to follow this group, then it will ask you to log in. This is where logging in then happens. Because what it does is it helps you to organize preprints the way you want them. And the only way you can keep track of that is because you logged in. So I have logged in now. If I want to follow this group, I will just click follow this group. You follow a group that you like what they write or what they do, or they maybe field or whatever that is your reason. You just follow the group. So if I follow this group now, when I go to my feed, it will show me evaluations, reviews from groups that I follow. So of course I work at eLife. I follow eLife. That's not a bias, trust me. But Review Commons is here. This is another group, so I follow them. So their work appears on my feed. So that means every time, and today they just posted that today, yeah. So every time a group I follow posts something new, it appears on my feed, so I can see it straight away. And it gives you the list of everyone you follow. based on when they post a new review. You can see that here you see a lot of eLife. That's because eLife is a publisher and it's doing a lot of reviewing anyway. But every now and again you see another one because some of the smaller reviewing groups are not doing that as frequently as eLife. So that's why mine is full of eLife. And I can go next to next pages. But interestingly, the first one on the list was from Review Commons, which is another group that I follow. So that's what my feed does for you. Because you've logged in, you can follow. Go to that list of groups, and there are 26 groups there. Most of them are in science so far. This one, this list here is Screen IT is actually not human. It's an automated screening tool. It screened only COVID preprint. So, and it did that automatically. So that is the only group that is not manually run by humans. It just screens any article, if you find them by keyword that are COVID related, then it would assess them. I quite like it. A lot of scientists like it because it gives you this sort of tabular assessment of what it detects in the paper, review both statement, randomization. It will give you a lot of results on. So this is the review. So it tells you what is detected, addressing limitation in the study, clinical trial numbers, reference. So it does all of this by auto screening the document. And like someone said earlier, when you post your work as a preprint, these are some of the benefits you get. You get an automatic screening stuff tool like this, do this work for you. You can, as an author, review it later and see if there's something I missed, is there something I need to do more of, is there something I need to put there. This is what this tool does, and I loved it. It's one of the groups I follow because it provides a snapshot on a paper, a very quick snapshot so that you can see everything quickly. So that's what my feed does for you. Can I see in the chat if anyone has followed any group? Just type in yes.
I have a question, Godwyns.
Yes.
How does Sciety, can a group apply to Sciety to be a group, or how does Sciety aggregate these groups?
Both ways. A group can apply to Sciety to be a group, and we find groups and we approach them and tell them that it will be good if they put their work here. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all by consent. We don't want to. There's an alternative third way, is to just ignore everybody, write a program that goes online and cover everything. But we want to do it in an ethical way. So a group can either approach us and we'll put them on there, or we approach a group, and if they accept it, they can put their work on there.
So, for example, if Aaron would like to create a group, would that be possible? Those, or the local network leads would like to create a group, would that be something possible?
Yes, if you want to create a group, you're very much welcome to, let me see, it's somewhere, where is it? There's a place you click on and you say, apply to be a group.
Create a group, yeah.
So when you click here, you cannot create the group straight away. What you would do is you fill in your name and then you pick a date to talk to the product manager. It's coming up. There's something there. It says pick a date to have a call. Yeah. So you pick a date to have a catch-up, a meeting with them. And then they will take you through the process. There's
That's nice.
no bigger section. Make sure that, because one of the things is to find out how frequently you talk, so that you can also check that you have. Because what Sciety does is, if you review work as a group, you post it not on Sciety, you post it on somewhere like Hypothesis. and then Sciety will pull it from there. Some people use something like WordPress. If they already have a website, a blog, Sciety can pull them from there, talk to you. And there's a lot of technical side to it, which they have to deal with.
Yeah.
And then they pull it.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice to know.
For me, yes, like I will mention at the beginning, articles on Sciety have DOI because they don't live on Sciety. So if I go to the home page and type, what should I type? One thing. So if I so these are articles on Sciety. So this is the article itself. If you click here, what Sciety shows you is the abstract of the article. So that's it, and the authors. It doesn't show you the rest of it. The reason for that is that I've mentioned earlier, we want to be ethical about this. We don't want to centralize everything in one place. So these articles, these are the versions, and these are DOI here. So this one by archive is, and that takes me back to something someone said earlier about amending and revisions. So you can see that this article now has versions 1 and versions 2, I think, that way. And this group on Sciety has reviewed it. So for you to read the original article, you have to click here, and it will take you to where the article lives, which is on bioarchive. So if I try that now, I don't want to open it in the same window. This is the article itself on bioarchive. And now, something that thank you for making me do this. So if you go here, you can see on bioarchive, it shows you whether articles have had reviews. Some preprint servers do that these days. So this shows you that this one has had a community review, and that community review is the one on Sciety. So itself doesn't show you all the review. It says you read it on Sciety. So bioarchive, for some of you that are not in science, I'm assuming in this training, bioarchive is a big biology preprint server, one of the biggest now in the world. So it just you submit your manuscript there. If you write the review, community reviews, it appears there. So if you click on this, it will take you back into Sciety. But this is where you can read the full article itself, because they're all there. Sorry, full text, you can read it from there. So this article has a DOI, and here you can see the DOI for the article. So for those who have not tried pre-printing before, the essence of preprint essentially is that you post your work and it gets a DOI, which is a permanent record. So it's also a benefit of posting your work. Some of the questions I get asked by researchers every time I go to do a training somewhere is, oh, if I post my work, will someone not steal it? Actually, the benefit of posting your work is that you give it a permanent record, which is time-stamped, which prevents anyone from stealing your work, because now you have evidence that it is your work and you posted it to them. So I wasn't going to talk about that, but thanks for reminding me. So posting a preprint gives you a DOI. And then, as I mentioned in the beginning, if you post your work as a preprint and a journal have accepted your work, most of the journals would then go ahead to link this preprint DOI to their own DOI, so that when someone sees the final work, they would then have a link to the history of how that work developed. So yes, every preprint has a DOI. On Sciety itself, like I said earlier, you can search using DOI. So if I go back and copy that DOI from this one, and I plug it into Sciety, if I put it there and I search, wrong. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So DOI for that work is this, and this is it: molecular display of the animal metal venom, molecular display of the animal metal. So that's, you can use your DOI to search. So now we've covered that. I'll go to something much more personal use of Sciety now. So you've all created your list anyway, and list helps you to organize your own work and you can share them. So if I wanted you to see what I'm collecting or a paper that I've read that I quite like or that I've notated, I can say to you, this is my list, okay? For those of you that created it, if you go back there, if you click on your name, you look at the top, I think someone posted their link earlier. So we posted their link. So this is your link, your specific link. So you can give it to anyone. It has that your username there. You can give it to anyone because it's public and say, hey, this is where I post work and this is what I thought about them. And it will show you. You can also create more lists. We'll come to that. But this is how you can share your work. So though we did that earlier on, if you click on that in the chat, you go in and you see what Zoe has done so far. So one of the things you do is, and you see how many articles that the person has had. So we did not, talk about all of that, but you will also see who they are following. So I'm following 12 groups out of the 26 that are available. So back to your list, you can create a list for a specific way to organize your work. So I have, you see here, I said that it's a layman's list because I love reading the reviews and they give me a better understanding of the scientific output. So I collect the ones that I'm interested in here. There I collect articles that have more than one review. And this is more interesting to me because it gives me an overview of the activities going on preprints that people post. So as you can see with this first one, it has been reviewed by eLife, Rapid Reviews Infectious Disease, and Screen IT. So this particular thing has 12 evaluations on it. So that is where it becomes, and it also tells you that it has appeared on 5 lists. So 5 individuals has put it on their list. It gives you the latest version of that work and then the latest activity on it. You can also remove it from your list if you don't want it to be there, or you can add a comment. Okay, Paul. So Paul has asked me a question about how do we create a list? So if you just click on your name there, how can I find your account and follow you? Okay, step by step. Paul first. So what Paul asked, how do you create a list? If you click on your name at the top right hand corner, you will see there where it says create a list. If you don't have that, it means that they need to, I don't know if it takes 1 day or thereabouts for it to come up, but you should have it. Can anyone see create a new list or create new list on there? If you can see, just type
yes.
Hello,
sir. It's on my own page now. I'm there currently.
Okay. So if you want to create a list, it's up to you. You can do that at your own time, but you can create it based on what you want to say and how you want to organize your work. This is where we are talking about, community organizing. You organize work. For example, I have put this together as articles with multiple reviews. Now, for other researchers who want to see what has more than one group talking about it, if I give this to someone and say, this is my list, go there, you find some articles. They can come here, click on, use my link to come here, and then they will click on this, and they can find that, okay, so this is what other people have. This is how many voices that are spoken on one article. So it gives you a better, a more comprehensive view of what is going on. Sometimes you get more than 3, but most of them there are 3. You get 2. So this one is reviewed by pre-review and pre-light, review commons and pre-light, pre-review and pre-lights again. So you see more of that rapid review and pre-review and screen IT. So what does that mean? It means that if you open this preprint, you will then see this is what rapid review has said. You can read their reviews there. This is the reviews. But beyond that, you see also pre-review has also done their own review here. And of course, because this item is something related to COVID, the Screen IT automation tool has also screened it and produced the report. So that is how this works. Now, to your question, how can you find my account and follow me? Well, it's easy if I put my account. It might not be interesting to anybody in my list, but there it is. So that's my list. And then it will show you, I think, it shows you the list. Now, the next thing we do, if you open my list, you cannot follow all of it. You can follow, if you click on, for example, I have these articles focused on pain. If you click on that, you can, because it's my list, sorry. Let me find someone else's list. So we're jumping hoops there. But you can, Samira has posted their list, yes. Zoe has posted their list, yes. So if you click on list, there's something called list at the top. You will see all the most current activities on Sciety. So there is, that's mine at the top and others. Post your list if you have it, that's cool. New Irish Research. So this is people from Ireland. That means it's eLife.
That's eLife. Yeah.
Where she works with her new cohort. So you can see all of that. So what happens on this page called list is that you see the most recent activities by other users. If you want to find a user, but it's not, we're still working on developing how this operates, because for now it's just a chronological list and it's a lot of lists, concurrent lists, so many people on it. So if you click on a list itself, let me click. So this one is mine, multiple reviews. Oh no, I keep making a mistake. I need to click on someone else's list. If I click on the Irish one, for example, it says here subscribe. So anyone can subscribe to your list. And when they do, if you have an activity, you receive an email. If they have an activity, you receive an email. So if they make a comment or save an item, it's not every time. I think it's once a week. It's a collection of emails that you receive. And it comes into you with the email that you registered with. So that's how you follow a list. Samira. So if you follow, my list has 3 sub-lists in it. You would have to follow them one by one. You cannot follow all of it in one go. So far, that's how we built it, because that's the feedback we have. If you click on this one, you click subscribe, this one subscribe, this one subscribe. The reason we've done it that way is because the feedback is sometimes people don't want to receive everything. They might come to my list and they are only interested in articles with multiple reviews rather than the thing on paying. I mean, I cannot follow your account as a whole, not list. No, that's what I'm explaining, Samira. You cannot follow my account as a list as a whole. You would have to choose which list to follow, because we did it that way so that people, researchers can have choice. Because I can have more than 3 lists. There's 4. This one is not working well. So you can choose which one you follow. It might be that you're not interested in all of the 3. So we give you the choice to follow which one you like. If you like the 3, you can follow them each one by one. So that's how it works. So that is list. There's so many more you can do on your list, but essentially a list helps you to collect and choose what you are reading, and showcase what you're reading. So by creating a list, you choose what you want to read and save them somewhere. As we were on Sciety homepage, if you do search for something, you find what you're looking for, you find papers, or you go by category. Sorry, someone who was all about science at the beginning. For now, you select something. Let's go for something that is, what can you go for? I think, let's say health economics. So if we go to health economics, which is days, you can select something. The basis of it is that you like this, you don't want to read it now, you can easily save this article. So that is how you save. You go there and it says save this article, right? So this also has activity feed. Rapid review has reviewed this article. So you go there and it says save this article. Yes, you can, but let's get to that. For me, just give me a second. So to save your article, you click on that thing, save this article, and it takes you to your area. So what you do, you select which list you want this to appear in. I haven't cost-effective end game strategies against sleeping sickness across the Congo. Now, this is something I'm quite interested in as it happens. So I will just add it to my list that says layman. So that's my first list. That's where I add it. This is where you also add annotation. Now, I will stop here and take you back to my presentation, and let's go to this one. So this Ayokun list. Here you can see comments that Ayo has made on this saved articles. Let me go to this one and find one of the lists that has articles. Comments. So this list, it's run by a professor in the United States. She makes quite in-depth comments. So you can see here. So the way you put this on your article is when you're saving it, as we have here now, you can write into this place. I'm not going to write that, because if I write that and I confirm it, it will appear this way. So this is how you annotate articles. So this person is a scientist. Of course, they read this and they provide a commentary on it. You can see they have quite a lot. They do it a lot. They provide commentaries. They are short. This is not a review. This is just a short commentary on the work. You know, the short one says, "Totally fascinating and surprising to me," in bracket, studies suggesting more frequent maintaining climate results in worse rather than better adaptation to a challenging. So this is nice in a way when we're talking of curating, or we're talking of highlighting and show organizing work. She has used this to give you a quick summary on what this is about. Now, as a researcher, you come here to find things. This helps you to determine, okay, I think I'm interested in this document. Or, oh, is that what it's going about? Okay, I'm not about it. And essentially, that is the contributions individuals made towards the open science movement. By doing this, you help others to quickly and very briefly be able to summarize what they want to do, whether they want to read this or whether it be useful to them or to other persons or not, and they can move on. The same goes with this. So each time you put a comment, that's what you get out of that. So you do this, put the comment in this space, and then you confirm. So when I confirm this now, it would appear on my list of saved list. So at the top, that is it here. If I go back to my list and I added it to the top one, this one, it shows it there. So that's what that is. So can we use it to sort for articles for literature review? Yes, because you can search on Sciety. For me, you can simply do your search. I shall subscribe to this list. So you can simply do your search and on the homepage, and then use it to identify articles that you want to review if you want to do that, or for you, or to use for a literature review or whatever you want to use it for. So yeah, you can do that, but it's personal. You do what you like with it. That helps you with your work.
Godwyns, if I could ask a question here. So the Sciety automatically gathers the preprints that are on bioarchives, Africa archives. So if I search on Sciety, does it mean that I'm searching on all of the preprint servers? Or how does the preprint end up indexed in Sciety?
Exactly like I was explaining earlier on, a preprint end up on Sciety because we talk to the server and we agree with them and that their work would appear there. So that's how it does it. If you search on a preprint server that is already connected to Sciety, then it will show when you search, it will bring up work that are from there. So that's how
So yeah, so for now, like Sciety has an agreement with bioarchive. So this is why all the preprints and bioarchive just appear in Sciety, right?
Yeah, it has bioarchive, medRxiv, ResearchGate, Cielo preprint, Earth Archive, and I think some of the OSF, but OSF is still talking to, because OSF is a collective of other preprints, talking to some of those preprints. The Africa Archive doesn't really have a server as a preprint, so you can find things on Africa Archive on Sciety, but it depends on where they are. So Africa Archive is not a standalone preprint on itself. It has collections that are based on, some of them are OSF, some of them are open, I think. But they are working towards being a full-fledged preprint server, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the same thing about the reviews. So every review that's posted on peer review, it's automatically appears on Sciety, right? Because you guys have sort of an agreement with them.
Posted on peer review appears because there's peer review here. So their reviews, in fact, they have quite a lot shows here. And they also run featured list of HTML transparent, TSL preprint club review, language,
Wow, okay.
language club review. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
so even their clubs appear in Sciety.
Yeah,
That's
so
nice.
they put them there.
Yeah, you see, Daniel.
So Daniel was sleeping earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
thanks
okay.
for mentioning that because I want to talk about a little bit about peer review. And I think, have you had peer review training already?
Yeah, actually we have a live review that's going to happen next Monday.
Great.
So I think I'm really excited to see it when it will appear on Sciety.
Yeah, with Vanessa, right?
With
So,
Vanessa and Daniela, yeah.
yeah, so the difference, and peer review is great for actually practicing your reviewing skills and learning how to review. That is great for, doing it on peer review. Okay, Paul, give me 1 second. Let me finish explaining this. So peer review offers you the platform to, hone your skills on reviewing preprints, reviewing science research manuscripts. That is one thing. Sciety, on the flip side, gives you a space to store and organize and collect research output that you encounter. The reason for that, the benefit of that is, for instance, if you, now that you all have a Sciety profile, you don't really need to take your laptop everywhere. Simply, okay, let me put it the other way. You don't really need to download a PDF of works anymore. Also, when you download them as PDF, you don't really easily make annotation on them, depending on how the PDF was formatted. So with Sciety, then, I see this that you found that are useful to you, and then you can put comments on them. It then means that anywhere you go, as long as you have an internet access, you can access articles and look at the reviews or read them and whatever you want to do. So that is the style. But peer review is very useful for you because part of the open science movement is making things more transparent, getting more diverse voices. So if you guys don't know how to do reviews, peer review is one of the best. Peer review is one of the best places for you to do that and be able to. But they have this thing called Sandbox, which is very good at something. Now, Paul, you said I have got this skill on how to share one link on Sciety. Sorry, Paul, can you explain what you mean?
Yes, sir. I saw some of us sharing the links from their Sciety account, but
Yeah.
I don't even know where to navigate in getting my own too.
That's
yes.
fine. Are you using a mobile phone or a laptop?
Yes, I'm using an Android phone currently.
Okay, that's an Android phone.
Yes,
I
yes.
happen to have one. That's what I use. So when you look on your Sciety page that you have opened where you are, right? Let me open it and see.
Okay.
Sciety. So when you open it, so click on the sandwich bar. You know the lines at the top right, top left-hand corner.
Okay, that menu bar.
Yeah, click on it, and then you see where it says your name at the top. The very first thing you will see.
All right, I've seen it, sir.
Touch that. Touch your name.
Okay.
And then above it in the menu, in the link bar,
yes,
it should be above. Touch that.
Okay.
And then you see if the URL come down, and then there is something that looks like a square above on top of another square.
Okay.
Now touch that as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
If you touch it, it will say it has copied the link. So come back onto your Zoom chat.
Okay.
In the chat, press and hold down where you need to type, and then it will show you menus that say paste. just click on the paste and then it will paste the link.
All right, sir. All right, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll
And
try
then-
that now.
Oh, you should be trying it since I was talking about it. Okay, that's fine. So this is I hope we've covered most of the things. So you now know how to look at groups. Let me just sort of round up here a bit. You know now how to look at groups. You know how to use lists and look at other people's lists. You click on list, you get that. You see how feed happens. So the feed is about the groups that you follow and their activities. And of course, my list, which is the one that shows you your list. So that's the thing. On the homepage, you can search, but also at the top there, you can also do a search. And like we said earlier, you can search using DOI, author names, keywords, and categories. So we've covered the pre-printing and the possibilities they give, which is about groups writing, peer review. And let me ask the question about, if I have a group, can I join Sciety? Of course you can. You just follow what I've shared before. This is how all of these groups came on. And then we have a little bit of a task now. So can you search for a preprint? I know that this is going to be controversial because some of you are not in science, I think, based on the question that came up earlier. But just for the benefits of training, try it. Every skill you learn here is transferable. So you're not going to lose out. So do a little search, just use a keyword, do a little search, and then add that to your list. However, if you have already added an article to your list, just type yes and don't repeat the task. Anyone? Has anyone successfully added a thing to their list? Those who has posted their links here, you know, I'm looking at your list and seeing that you haven't added anything. Can you share your link? Or have you shared it earlier and missed it?
Yeah, I'll do that now. I didn't share it.
Samira has added something to their list. Yes, Samira has added something to their list. And so let me show you. So this is Lami's list. And you can see there it says one article. That's how I know that there's something in it. She called it, let me say, I can never say
Mycetoma. Mycetoma.
I can never say that.
Yeah.
It's like saying reproducibility. I have to really think hard when I say that. It's so difficult. Mycetoma, yeah.
Mycetoma, yeah.
Let me add something to it. And Samira had added something to their list. Antibody decay T cell, there you go. And so this is, let me add that. Paul has created a list, but not added an article. Okay. In fact, Paul has created two lists. Okay. So it looks like that no one has added, just 2 people has added something to their list so far. Okay, Adekumbi Malomo has added something to their list. I see that. Okay. Is anyone struggling on how to add something to their list?
Yes, I'm struggling, sir.
Is that Paul?
Yes, sir.
Paul,
I could see I could search, but to add it to my list, I couldn't get the procedure.
okay, so you could search and you successfully posted your list, so I have it on the screen, right? For illiteracy. So
Yes.
what you do is, for everyone else who hasn't added, if you're struggling with that, let's go to, let me just open a group. That's the easiest way. And then I open, which one should I open? Let me open Pre-Light. Let me go to Pre-Review, because you would encounter Pre-Review, so it all makes sense now. So I follow Pre-Review already. So Musa, can you post the okay, Musa has added an article. Yes, thank you. So if I open this thing, Paul, can you see the screen, Paul? Okay. So to add to your list, you open that article, you will see to the side of it where it says save this article. If you just click on that, you will be able to save to the article.
All right, sir. Let me try now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So additionally, once you create your list, there's something we are currently developing. Of course, everyone knows how AI is ubiquitous these days. AI is everywhere. But we're trying to use AI to find relevant papers for people. It will be based on what you're saving and what you're reading, so that it would make suggestions to you. So we're trying to use that to show you things that are related to what you have as an interest, to improve how you assess and review and organize papers, and search for them. Currently on site, we have 33,000 evaluated preprints. So that is something we call, they can be peer reviews, there are commentaries, and other forms of review, including automated ones, like 3,000 of them. We have 26 groups, and then the list of highlights, curated work by various groups, including eLife, Gigabytes, Peer Review, and the rest of them, the curated work. But the question is, why now? And the question someone mentioned earlier, I can't remember who, is talking about, I mentioned this, the White House Science and Technology Policy called Massive Memo, which is out. It's about the bill and the data I talked about earlier as well. These are the way the movement is changing. There are big names and policymakers beginning to accept that open science is here to stay, and so that's why having things like this are very useful. It also helps to engage underrepresented communities. By having it more open, all of us from the lesser fancy parts of the world can also contribute. So the question Lamis asked earlier, if you create a group, your group is now active. And I know through my work that I talk to a lot of people in many parts of the world, especially developing parts of the world. People run journal clubs, preprints clubs, or reviewing clubs, and they don't do a write-up, or they write up and they just dump it somewhere. You can gather all of that and put it up, and it would contribute to how research has shaped, whose voice is making the impact. your view can be added to that. So this is why the list are changing now. These are some of the funding bodies that have accepted preprint as a useful tool and a valid tool for sharing research. These are big hitters, you know. You're talking of the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, you're talking of Coalition S, Bill and Melinda Gates, what's it called? Max Planck Institute and the likes, and there are many more joining the race and joining to say that it's time we open up research and make it more accessible, because most research are paid with by either public money or some of these big investments by donors. So preprint is very much well accepted now. NIH, of course, are the forerunners that started pushing it, but there are, you know, planners and the rest of them will come. They're all beginning to accept preprints and consider it useful for making grants. So it's no more a time that you can say, oh well, nobody accepts it. You know, the same thing applies to, you know, if you can get a grant, of course you can get tenure, promotion, and all of that. They are all interlinked with each other, as you well know. So you can also find interesting preprints in your field using, you know, places like Sciety, European Semantic Scholar, and then build a list of them on Sciety under your profile, because you put them together as we have just discussed. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to use this form. Do me a favor, we nearly come to the end. Complete this form. It's very short. What I want you to do is to put that link that you posted here in one of the tables and put the name of your, what is it called, of your list there for me. And of course, feel free to ask any question you have at the same time. I think we have about 13 minutes to go. I'll call that 12 minutes to go, so we have enough time. But if you can complete this before that, ask any questions you may have. These are some of the things that we wanted to cover at the beginning. I don't know how much you feel that you've got any of them or all of them. I would like to hear and complete that form with some. Anyone have is there any questions from anyone?
Yeah, I think Godwyns. Paul has his hand raised. Please go ahead, Paul.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for this very fascinating facilitation this today. I've loved to know how to navigate Sciety, but now I thank God for that. But I was, during the time of creating the list, I was trying to check for Afri-Archive, but I discovered that it's not on Sciety. I'm just, Afri-Archive is majorly for us in Africa. I don't know if you can do us a favor, because some of us want to promote Africa, we want to promote our own preprint server here in Africa, so that I'm just pleading if you can just help us in adding Afri-Archive to Sciety. Thank you very much, sir.
Paul, do you mean Africa Archive?
Yes.
Okay, I think Lamis mentioned that and we talked about it briefly earlier on. Africa Archive, so how did you mean? Did you search for the word Africa Archive in Sciety?
Yeah, what I did is that, is shortened in Afri-Archive. So I just put, because I have one one preprint posted there. So I just want to add it as my list on my Sciety, but I discovered that I couldn't find it. I saw bioarchive and the biomed archive and like that. So that's the reason why I'm asking.
How did you spell the Afri archive? AFRI.
AFRI XIV.
XIV. Okay. So you cannot search for with a server name.
Okay.
You have to search with so you can search the title, the preprint, or the names, use any name of the author's name who are on the article, or you can put the DOI, or you can put a tweet word. Now, as I explained, thank you, Daniel, thank you, Ahmed, Mr. If you have not completed the form, please do so. So, as I explained earlier, Africa Archive is not a full-fledged server yet. Africa Archive contents are hosted on OSF, and sometimes there are some of them on Science Open. So Sciety pulls work from OSF, but not all of them. So if you search for that, if it's one of the ones that OSF has allowed for Sciety to pull, it would show you the article on Sciety. Does it make sense?
I understand, sir.
Yeah. So
yes,
as
sir.
for the aspects that you added about, trying to make work from Africa more visible, I tell you, I'm part of that, and I'm African.
Yes.
I'm Nigerian,
Yes.
and Lamis can tell you, I do most of my work with a lot of African researchers, and we're working on that. I work with WACREN, Western Central African Research Network, very closely, and work with, of course, Aaron now, and many others, some in Kenya, TC Africa, the rest of them. So yeah, we are all working towards finding a way to make what you said is true, to make work from Africa more visible, because it is not. We've also set up a group called Global South Committee recently in eLife, and hoping that they will advise us on how eLife can contribute and support that work. So step by step, I'm talking to the founders of Africa Archive, Joe, and also with the guy who works there now. I can't remember his name, Ezekiel. So talking to them to see how we get around that. Flo has always been interested. She contributed a lot when we were setting up Sciety. But it was limitation based on the places that Africa can be sorted that has made it not active on Sciety until now. So they are working on that. Lami?
Yeah, I think I just want to ask everyone who still didn't fill in the Google form that Godwyns did to do so. And I'm not sure if there are any more questions. Does anyone else have a question? I think everyone is saying how fantastic this was, and I think now you could join the Godwyns fan club. As I told you, Godwyns is one of my favorite people, I think, so far working in open science. And I've really enjoyed this session. I think I've had some sessions on Sciety, but today you've walked us like through it step by step. And as Samira and many others were saying, is that your patience is amazing, Godwyns. And I think this now will change, at least for this group, will change the way that we're going to interact with preprints. I'm sure it's going to do that for me. I'm already like started to create some lists, one of the lists are my preprints, I would like to have a list that has my preprints that sort of to track them down. And yeah, I guess a big thank you, Godwyns, for this amazing session.
Thank you for inviting me. I completely forgot to put my email on this thing. I will feel free to please include my email when you write to people and give it to them.
Okay. And maybe before you send me the slides, you can just add your email, and because we will give the slides to everyone.
Yes, thank you. I'll do that. And if you get questions afterwards, feel free to forward them to me, either collectively or as you get them, and I'll get back to you.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And one thing, one question that I had is that because I'm really now thinking about why not start a group for AREN, or the local networks leads, but for I think like most of our reviews will be done through peer review, for example, or ASAP Bio crowd review.
Yeah.
So the question is, would this still work? Like, can we still have a group, but then do our reviews via another group, or will this just cause duplications?
It will cause duplications. If you have a group running through pre-review, we are not pulling all of them yet. The preview is still working on that, but it can, if at some point it will be pulled through. If you want to have your group on Sciety, because the posting methods are different, because reviews on pre-review are posted directly into pre-review. But reviews on Sciety are posted using hypothesis or bioarchive or something else called Kotahi. And then there's another thing which is more technical than I can understand. There's something else which they use if you are posting on a blog, for example.
Yeah.
So but hypothesis, I can tell you, is free. I don't know if you know about it. It's hypothesis.is. It's like hypothesis with a dot before the last two letters. So hypothesis is free. You can find any preprint there, write reviews on it, and post it, and Sciety will pull it. Then it only remains for you to talk to Sciety, and they create an instance that would then, because it's automatically pulled, if you post it in 10 minutes, Sciety will pull it in. So you don't really need to do it on Sciety, because Sciety is a platform that aggregates these things. Yeah, but if you do it through ASAP Bio crowd review, it's already on Sciety as well. Yeah, it is on Sciety. If you go on groups, you see ASAP Bio crowd reviews somewhere there. Can find it. So it will show through that. It's somewhere there. It's one of the groups.
Yeah, I followed it. It's definitely there.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
I cannot see. Yeah, there you go. So it's
yeah.
And then there's ASAP Bio Cielo preprint. This is posted in
Spanish.
In Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, Portuguese, yeah.
So it will show through there as well. So it's I think the way you explain it, you have three choices. The peer review pre-review choice has not been finished yet. They are working on it. Pre-review it was nearly done, but then they revamped their website, so it needs to go through again, and then it will be put into Sciety. But if you don't want it to be directly on Sciety, if you talk to Sciety, it will go through hypothesis, or they can create an equity for you. So.
Okay. So I guess it's something that we could discuss more later on, because I think because we want to encourage our community to participate in preprint reviews, and for them, to have that space that sort of, put the spotlight on them, might
In
be something
fact,
interested. Yeah.
I would love to see Aaron on Sciety. Let's talk about it. We can make it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about it. Just you know how to get me.
Yes. Yeah.
Book something. Let's have a chat. It'll be good
Yeah, yeah.
because
Definitely.
one of the things I definitely really want to see is, as Paul mentioned earlier, is to see currently there's no group on Sciety that is from Africa.
Yes, 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 yes.
Everything I can, and people from Africa seem very slow.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would love to see help make that happen. So
Yeah,
let's
I think we'll definitely be in contact with you to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it will work out well. Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I see that 12 people have filled the form. If you haven't completed the form, please do. Let me see if you can send out the link later to everyone.
Okay, yeah, I would post it later and we can send it via email. So that even the ones that couldn't, you know, attend live, like when they see the recording, then they could fill in the form. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Yeah, yeah.
Great. And I'll send you the slides today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Godwyns. It was a delight and a pleasure to have you. And we're looking forward to having you on level 3, because I think it will be really interesting with the discussion that we're going to have.
Yes,
Yeah.
that will be a different ball game, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
different
yes.
discussion. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for having me. I've enjoyed the encounter with all of you. Have a great day wherever you are. Great afternoon, evening, or morning.
Thank you.
Merci
beaucoup.
Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
De rien, au
Thank you so
revoir.
much.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.